Some players are just too good to trade, and it's no wonder their teams hold on to them. But who are these guys? And what makes them the most untradeable NBA superstars? Well, let's start with Kawhi Leonard, who's a favorite for the Clippers.
Kawhi Leonard! Oh!
It doesn't matter that Leonard's about to have his worst season since 2017-2018, even for a professional athlete. It's not easy to miss a whole season and then come back in all-star shape. Even if he isn't playing great basketball, the Clippers are the number 6 seed in the conference and are close to a top 4 seed. This means that this team will be dangerous if Leonard can get going. But probably not as much as this next popular player, who's a treasure to whichever team gets to keep him. Yep, it's true, LeBron James is still in a league of his own.
Second fast break, points taken away toward Brown. 2-on-1, Schroeder, LeBron doing it again! Reverse slam from Schroeder!
Now I know for a fact that the Lakers are not likely to trade for him since they're proud of their all-star players. Back in the 1980s, Magic Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and now LeBron James have all been the face of the franchise. Even though the Lakers could get a lot from other teams if they traded James, keeping him on the team keeps them in the playoff hunt and keeps the face of the franchise together. Speaking of, this next one can easily be the poster child for his team, but he could also try for many awards this season. Donovan Mitchell. Sure, he's never been chosen for an All-NBA team, but this year that should change.
Seconds, here we go. He missed it. Mitchell! Donovan Mitchell!
And he's working hard to get picked for the first team. Mitchell could also try to win the award for the most improved player. The Cavaliers gave up a lot to get Mitchell, and he's living up to his promise. Mitchell's the best shooting guard in the NBA right now, too. And you know who else is best despite being injured? Zion Williamson.
Second chance points. Make it time. Look out! Monty wanted a moving pick.
The player's always talked about in terms of trades because he can't stay healthy. So now that he's on the court, the Pelicans are showing what they can do. When Williamson returns, he changes the way the game's played. Pelicans' trades at the deadline didn't get much attention because their biggest addition's getting their best player back. The same goes for this next player who can break an all-time scoring record. Yup, it's none other than the Phoenix Suns star player Devin Booker. Booker's injured for the first time since the 2017-18 season. He hasn't played since December 25th. So far this season, he's been in 29 games. Booker's the player who might have the best chance to break the team's all-time scoring record. On top of that, his contract goes through the 2027-28 season and will pay him $50 million in 2024-25 and $62 million in 2027-28. It's not easy to move that contract in the first place. And that's why the Memphis Grizzlies plan on holding on to this next player. Ja Morant's one of the best stars in the world.
3-on-2 if they hurry. Morant, a hesitation move. Attacks. Finger rolls it in. Holy cow, what a play by Morant. It looked like he wanted to dunk it. Switched into a finger roll in midair.
Morant's already an all-star and was named Rookie of the Year and Most Improved Player. Morant's so popular because he wants to win a championship for Memphis. He's already said twice that he doesn't think there are any teams in the West that the Grizzlies would have trouble with. Does that sound like a player who wants to leave the team? I don't think so. After all, he has faith in his team, and they have faith in him. And sure, the Celtics star player is young, but he's still pretty experienced. And without a doubt, Jason Tatum can help the Celtics get far.
For the flush, strong finish.
And that pass too high.
He's the first player in his career to average more than 30 points per game. His winning the scoring title wouldn't be a surprise. When it comes to Durant, the Celtics have a version of him who's just starting to reach his best years. Tatum's done everything for Boston except win a championship. This is the only thing he hasn't done. The last time the Celtics won a title was in 2008. This could be a future most valuable player in the finals, and you should never trade away a player like that. This next player was almost traded, but I'm thankful he wasn't. Joel Embiid. Seems like Joel's here to stay for now, folks.
The other team getting loose.
I
think that looks clean, right?
The 76ers traded Simmons for James Harden and kept Embiid as the team's star player. In return, they got a nearly MVP season from Embiid last year, and he's playing like he could win an MVP in the near future. Since the team decided to keep Embiid, it's clear that they think he's good. This season, Embiid and Harden have played in 25 games together. Their team has a 25-15 record and is 4 games behind the leader. The safest thing to do is to play this pair for the rest of the season and see how far they can take the team. Then you've got the NBA's richest player, who's unlikely to ever be traded. The Warriors will never get rid of Stephen Curry.
Picks up Curry, forced into the tough shot.
This could be the last player who stays with the same team his whole life. Curry's shown that he's loyal to the team that picked him. He's another player who has been great for the Warriors throughout his career. In 2009, he was picked up by the team. Curry became the best shooter of all time and had the most points in the team's history. He also has the most three-point field goals in the league. The Warriors' investment has paid off as they've won 4 championships in 8 years. This next player, although doesn't have much to his name, still makes his stats look like video games because he's just that good. Luka Doncic gets the best numbers for the Mavericks. There have been rumors that Doncic would like to play in Los Angeles, but his team is unlikely to let go of him so easily. Look at the other people on his team and remember that they have the 4th best record in their conference. A lot of it has to do with this one man. Instead of trading Doncic, who's been their best player all season, the Mavericks should trade for pieces to put around him. But some players can't be traded because of their contracts, and that's exactly why Kevin Durant can't be traded. First, he's playing like he could win the Most Valuable Player award. His defense has also gotten better. You don't trade a player who could win MVP unless your team's in trouble, and the Nets are only 2 games behind the #1 seed. The second's the contract that pays him $42 million this season and increases by $3 million yearly until it reaches $53.2 million in 2025-26. No team wants to give up that much right now, especially since Rudy Gobert was going for 4 first-round picks on the market. Then, there are players who are impossible to trade for many reasons. Giannis Antetokounmpo is impossible to trade at this point. He's in the 2nd year of his deal. At the end of the deal, he'll have a $51 million player's option for the 2025-26 season. He's playing like an MVP, and the Bucks are in the 3rd seed. Before Giannis quit the Bucks for 5 years, there were rumors about what would happen to him in Milwaukee. Giannis won a championship and then quit the team, hoping to bring another championship to the city. But the player who tops all others as being the most untradeable is the next one, Nikola Jokic. Jokic is the NBA player who can't be moved the most right now. After all, the back-to-back MVP has been in charge of a team for the last 2 years that was 70% healthy. Now the team looks great, and that's because the best player in the league has a great cast around him. That's all the best players in the NBA who can't be traded now. See you in the next one.